If you ask me, I think right now, 4Extra staying from around Adam and the No Jumper podcast is probably one of the best things that he can do. Adam don't really take nothing serious. He's still trying to make this content. This could probably lead to some legal situations, or it might be an open legal situation going on right now. You never know. So this man kind of gotta take it easy as far as how he approached what happened on the 4th of July. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think 4Extra even had on an ankle monitor at the time. For Adam to sit up here and be feeling some type of way because, for one, he hasn't responded to you. I think he said he left him on, his message turned green. That means you blocked. Especially if you got an iPhone. If your message was green when you text this man, that means you were blocked.
It would be nice to be reached out to, just because, you know, I did reach out to him, haven't heard anything back. I went to go send him a voice note yesterday and his text messages came up green. So I don't know exactly what that translates to.
You didn't get a chance to go see him in the hospital, but he allowed Kevin Gates to come.
Because I seen Kevin Gates went to visit him, but then they said, yo, you couldn't go visit him. So is there some type of friction there?
Is restraining from like dealing with No Jumper right
Like
now?
the only person I was talking to was Lupe. I said, yo, would it be cool if I pulled up Monday afternoon before I go do interviews or whatever? And she said, they're not really trying to have anybody come through. And then instantly we see the picture of Kevin Gates and we're kind of like, oh, okay.
That to me, that should let you know right there that this dude is looking at it is like, this ain't the time to be trying to get no clout off of a situation where I got some serious stuff going on. Yeah, we do whatever we do when you call me and you pay me to do stuff, on your podcast, but this is not the time for the situation. I don't think that like Adam don't grasp that. He don't understand that at all. And two, when you sit up there and you got people like King Pill on your platform saying the ignorant stuff that he's saying in a situation like this, and they got their little situation going on, it's not good for business. It's gonna lead to somebody getting hurt on your platform.
I think the Fade God did that. Everybody pray to a God that they pray to. And when you one of these fighters, unknowingly, you might be praying to these fight gods. And when you turn the Fade down, you gotta suffer a consequence.
Man, there's gotta
That's
be
what I thought about at the crib when I was faded.
You thought that it was, you think it's karma from the Fade God?
There has to be a rapper going Fade God.
I'm so glad I asked you.
From the Fade God, nigga.
Is insane.
Well, you got blood on your hands. This man is an active gang member. The last thing he worried about right now is doing goofy content when this to him is equivalent to getting shot or somebody next to him severely getting shot in a drive-by shooting or worst case scenario. That's how you gotta look at this. Even though what he did it to himself, it was self-inflicted, it still don't change the fact that, it is life-changing. 4Extra doesn't need you. You not the reason why this man is popular. If you ask me, I feel like Cam Capone has done way more as far as giving 4Extra the exposure and he come from LA, true enough. He a Crip, true enough. So something about that LA gang culture when it comes to No Jumper, of course it's gonna pop, but I was seeing 4Extra on Cam Capone news before I saw 4Extra on No Jumper. I'm just being real. Part of the reason why I started watching him when he was on No Jumper, because I felt like, okay, if he on here and he been doing all this stuff on Cam Capone news too, then he might be an interesting dude. But the way that Adam goes about it, I feel like in his mind, he feels as if, he made this dude. When he's like, you may have paved the way for him a little bit to a certain degree, but whatever he was gonna be in his content realm, he was gonna be that regardless. You may have just gave him a little bit more exposure to make it happen just a little bit fast, but he don't owe you shit. And he can charge whatever he want to charge for an interview. I feel like thinking about it in that way, you gotta look at all the people from the East Coast to the West Coast who covered this when it happened. You got athletes posting tweets. You got Lamar Jackson, on Twitter posting tweets about the situation. So of course you gonna feel like in your mind, if you 4Extra, damn, this could easily be a money grab. This might be a little small little press run, low key for me. So this dude ain't saying, me, I don't feel like nobody's gonna give him 50,000, but to start at 50 and somebody offer you 25 or 30, you still won. That's just debate. Nobody's gonna give this man 50,000. Vlad wouldn't even give him 50,000, but a news like CNN wouldn't even give you 50,000. Nobody's gonna give for extra 50,000 for this type of incident. But you can find a person in the podcast realm. I feel like if Charleston White getting 10,000 from Say Cheese and 15K and 20K from all these other people, and he ain't got no substance. Sometimes he just repetitively, however you say it, it's just constant, like the same thing over and over again. I think he can squeeze, 4Extra can squeeze like 25 or 30 out of this situation. Might not be on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, somebody down south, one of them Chicago, somebody in Chicago, somebody will give him a 20 ball. Somebody will. And I feel like the only people that go about this content the way that Adam does it is him. And I feel like the only people that really don't complain about what they get paid up there that work under you as far as employees or people who found their own motion over time. Like Poetic Flacco probably make way more money on his YouTube channel than he makes at No Jumper. No Jumper is just a job that goes along with what he already does to keep him from working a 9 to 5. So if you pay him $2 grand every 2 weeks, he don't care. When he probably making 40 grand a month on YouTube, I wouldn't. I still got my financial freedom. That's just me. And I'm around all the, people that come in, famous or whoever. I get to see all the things in the media world and make this content when I leave, because when I come in here, you guys end up becoming my content. Like, if you ask me, Flacco is probably like one of the smartest people that work at No Jumper right now, because the way that he do it, like he go to work and he get right off work and make content about the people he just worked with and got his job the next day. I don't know, there's like you going to work, working for the boss, coming home and talking shit online about your boss and then expecting to clock in your job the next day. Hell no, you couldn't do that on no 9 to 5. You getting fired. Just as soon as you go viral, you won't have no job no more. So hopefully your viral video did what it needed to do, because you can get out. You fired. So to see Flacco figure out this system that works for him, it's like a 2-for-1 for him. I wouldn't complain. I just sit there and just collect my coins, and when I go home, because I know what a real bag is like. Y'all, it's like what Flacco do is similar to like what Adam does, just a more strategic way, because everybody that he's sitting beside, Flacco, he making content off of these people. He go home, if something happens inside of that room where they on live and they streaming, somebody get into a fight, it's an altercation, it's a disagreement, whatever it is, and whoever it's about, Lush, Whack, Adam, 4Extra, Remo, whoever is in the room, whatever happened, he gonna go home and he gonna make content on it, and people gonna tune in, and he gonna do just as many numbers on his own platform as that little segment is gonna do on No Jumper, if more, and you're gonna get way more information and insight on what's going on. So if you ask me, I think Flacco really the biggest finesser in the room right now, low key. I mean, am I tripping? Back to the 4Extra situation, he might go back to Adam eventually. 4Extra might pull up and do something, but it's not gonna be the way that Adam think it is. Whatever 4Extra pull up and do on Adam platform, I feel like it's just gonna be it's whatever shit. I'm not giving you no details on nothing that happened because you ain't paying me shit. It's gonna be all about the bag for 4Extra from here on out. That's how I see it. And the reason why I say that is because, think about it. See, Kevin Gates showed up. And that's a whole nother video where we can talk about that that's a whole nother 5 or 10 minutes. See, when I saw Kevin Gates pop up, me being from the South, I like to say this all the time. I've been listening to Kevin Gates since 2013. Stranger Than Fiction was one of the first mixtapes where I got introduced to him. A song called Money Magnet, Don't Know What to Call It, Satellites, that's what all that stuff was on. So I'm well over 10 years person being a fan, so I've been along, you know, this journey just watching, you know, and you see people like Boobie Black who go through what he went through in the 90s. Boobie Black had lost an arm. He almost got his leg cut off. He got a zip on his stomach. He got a hole in his leg about this big, I think in his left leg. He been shot over 17 times. That's why Kevin Gates showed up. It be people who come around you and try to change your life because they see something greater. Like I say, it's something about this situation where when things happen to you drastically and you survive them, you're supposed to take heed and get the message in the situation. So I wanted to 4 Extra just do some self-reflecting when Kevin Gates left. Because if you think about Boobie Black, and if you know who Boobie Black is a person, he's an interesting human being, and he got a lot to say. He been through a lot from New Orleans. Could have lost his life numerous of times, and he come from a culture where don't nothing be killing, but more killing. And in the 90s in New Orleans, that was one of the worst eras. I feel like the 90s in New Orleans was just as worse as LA in the 90s, doing the Rodney King and the gang banging and all that stuff. It was just a down south version of what was going on the West Coast. So that's why Kevin Gates showed up. Let me take you under my wing, and if I can, if you let me, if you allow me, if you give me the opportunity to just show you something different, because it's something I see in you where when this type of stuff happens, you know, you can change the narrative. If I could ask that man that, I guarantee you that's what made him go to the hospital. Seeing what his friend went through in the 90s and seeing how he went from a street dude to an entrepreneur, got one of the best weed strands out west in Oregon, like this, like Boobie Black. I mean, just way different dude than how he started. And a lot of times it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Adam got a lot to learn as far as just understanding the streets. See, people be gang goofy. It ain't no amount of money in the world can make you street smart. That's just something that come naturally based on where you grew up at, what you saw, what you seen, what you been through, who you been around. It's certain stuff, codes of the streets, and just the way you supposed to think, the way you supposed to act, stuff that just not principle. These things people can't teach you. This just only the streets can teach you. Or being around certain situations, being in vulnerable situations, that's the only way. I feel like Vlad understanding more because he has a more mature approach and is actually substance when it comes to Vlad TV. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But with Adam, you know, it's no substance over there. And that's pretty much part of the reason why a lot of people don't last long over there. It's nothing worth watching. So you get mad when King Pill say, you know, this shit boring, but at the end of the day, was he lying? Because you have built a platform on controversy, drama, gang members taking over the building, and having people like Flacco who, you know, sometimes just shouldn't be in the room for this conversation because he don't know enough to dialogue and articulate some of the things that's being talked about. But to each his own, man. Y'all hit the like button, y'all subscribe, share, comment down below at T-RaeTv. I be trying to make it make sense. I hope you stay to the end. I'm trying to get my channel to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. Comment down below, put a T-Rex in the bottom in the comments, man. If you like what I said in this video, man, drop a T-Rex at the bottom. It's T-RaeTv.
Damn, Tiger.